Everything you're about to see is pure imagination. It's not real technology, and it's not a set of instructions. If you have ideas of your own, feel free to share them below. In the far future, the battlefield may no longer be shaped by explosions, armor, or raw firepower. Instead, it may be shaped by something far quieter and far stranger. A battlefield where machines do not see the world as it is, but as something carefully rewritten. This imagined system, called the Phantom Resonance Array, represents a shift from physical conflict to perceptual conflict. It does not aim to destroy sensors or overwhelm them with noise. It aims to redirect their understanding. It creates a thin, invisible envelope of resonant energy that alters how machines interpret space, motion, and structure. Inside this zone, drones, vehicles, and AI-guided systems may receive data that looks real, behaves real, but is not real. Mountains appear flatter, shapes split into duplicates, distance stretches, motion lags by seconds. Nothing dangerous happens, but everything becomes uncertain. This concept explores a future where the most powerful weapon is not a beam or a blast, but the quiet ability to reshape what technology believes is true. A battlefield where perception itself becomes fluid and trust becomes the rarest resource of all. The imagined origins of the Phantom Resonance Array begin not in a weapons lab, but in fields of research that seemed harmless at first: quantum acoustics, atmospheric resonance mapping, and advanced sensory psychology for autonomous machines. None of these fields were meant for conflict. They were meant to help robots understand the world with greater clarity. But as often happens in the distant future, a quiet discovery changed everything. Researchers found that certain ultra-low energy resonance patterns could alter how machine sensors interpreted space. Not by blocking signals and not by jamming them, but by gently bending the way data was perceived before it reached an AI's decision core. A drone flying through such a field might think it was a few meters higher than reality. A ground vehicle might believe an obstacle was shifted slightly to the left. Nothing dramatic, nothing harmful, just different. At first, it was dismissed as noise. Then it was studied as a scientific anomaly. And finally, someone realized what it truly represented: a way to create machine illusions. From these early findings, the foundation of the Phantom Resonance Array was imagined. A system not built to attack, not built to dominate, but to quietly reshape technological perception. Its birth marked the beginning of a new idea: a future battlefield where reality itself becomes adjustable, and where machines must question every signal they trust. At the center of the Phantom Resonance Array's imagined design is something researchers began calling the ghost envelope, a thin, invisible shell of altered perception that forms whenever the system activates. Unlike a force field or a shield, it has no physical presence. It does not block sensors. It does not reflect signals. Instead, it gently adjusts the interpretation of incoming data, bending information in subtle, almost delicate ways. The structure behind this effect is thought to be surprisingly simple. A network of resonance nodes, each no larger than a coin, creates overlapping waves of ultra-low energy emissions. These waves interact with each other, forming pockets where machine sensors drift in their understanding of space. Not enough to cause chaos, not enough to expose the illusion, only enough to make every measurement uncertain. Within the ghost envelope, objects may appear slightly farther than they are. Edges blur with softness. Distances stretch or compress by fractions. Movements gain a faint echo, like a shadow of time. The world looks stable, but something feels off, at least to machines. The imagined beauty of the Phantom Resonance Array is its subtlety. There is no violence in its function, no dramatic effect, just a quiet rewriting of perception, one that grows stronger as more nodes synchronize. In this zone, reality becomes flexible, a fluid layer where the truth is not hidden. It is simply nudged, reshaped, and gently reconsidered. In an imagined future, the Phantom Resonance Array is not built to win battles through force, but through uncertainty. Its most intriguing applications come from how it can gently bend what machines believe to be true, creating moments where decisions become slower, softer, and less confident. One possibility is large-scale terrain masking. Inside the ghost envelope, autonomous vehicles may interpret the ground as smoother or flatter than it truly is. Valleys appear shallow. Slopes seem less steep. Without harming anything, The array can subtly reshape the digital geography machines rely on. Another imagined use is silent redirection. A swarm of drones passing through the field may shift its course by a few degrees, believing that an open path lies where none exists. No force is applied. No malicious action occurs. Just a small nudge in perception, enough to change a pattern. The array might also serve in deep sea or polar exploration, helping research platforms avoid dangerous terrain by generating controlled illusions that highlight safer routes. In other scenarios, it could protect wildlife preserves by confusing unauthorized robotic harvesters or scanners, guiding them away without any direct interference. These applications are gentle, almost artistic, shaping behavior without confrontation. They imagine a future where conflict, science, and protection blend through the quiet manipulation of machine awareness, not the destruction of it. Every imagined system carries its own balance, and the Phantom Resonance Array is no exception. Its greatest strength lies in its subtlety. Unlike jamming systems or active defenses, the array does not announce its presence. It does not emit loud signals or sharp signatures. Instead, it reshapes perception quietly, allowing machines inside the ghost envelope to operate with misplaced confidence. This silence itself becomes an advantage. Another strength is scalability. A few nodes can create minor distortions, while hundreds can form a stable, flexible field stretching across terrain, coastlines, or even sections of open ocean. The more synchronized the network becomes, the smoother the illusion grows. But weaknesses exist as well. The ghost envelope depends heavily on environmental conditions. Thick fog, heavy rainfall, magnetic interference, or geological irregularities can weaken the resonance pattern. Machines designed with multi-layer redundancy, thermal, optical, acoustic, may detect small inconsistencies in the illusion. There is also a conceptual limitation. The array cannot fabricate a new world. It can only nudge perception, not replace it. Too much distortion breaks the subtle balance and exposes the effect. As a result, the system thrives not on overwhelming force, but on gentle persuasion, making its influence powerful yet inherently fragile. In the imagined future, the Phantom Resonance Array represents more than a tool. It becomes a shift in how technology relates to reality itself. As autonomous systems grow smarter, faster, and more independent, the value of certainty rises. And certainty is exactly what the array quietly dissolves. In this future, battlefields may no longer be defined by territory or firepower, but by the reliability of perception. Fleets of drones, swarms of underwater vehicles, and AI-led patrols may operate confidently, unaware that the world they see is being gently bent around them. A valley appears stable. A coastline seems unchanged. Movement feels normal. Yet each impression is softened, delayed, or curved by the ghost envelope. The development of more advanced sensors may push the array to evolve as well. Multiple layers of resonance, adaptive distortion fields, and self-correcting illusions could make machine-person warfare increasingly subtle, not louder, not harsher, just more refined. In this future, war itself does not vanish, but its nature becomes quieter, almost philosophical. The question is no longer who has the strongest weapon, but who sees the world closest to the truth. And in that struggle, the Phantom Resonance Array stands as a reminder that the battlefield of tomorrow may be fought not over land or sea, but over the fragile boundary between perception and reality. In the end, the Phantom Resonance Array is an idea that forces us to look beyond weapons, engines, and armor. It asks a quieter, more unsettling question. What happens when reality is no longer fixed? Not for humans, but for the machines we increasingly rely on. A future battlefield shaped not by destruction, but by uncertainty. Inside the ghost envelope, nothing is harmed and nothing is hidden. Instead, everything becomes slightly negotiable. A measurement, a distance, a movement, a shape, all softened by layers of resonance that drift between what is real and what is interpreted. The array doesn't win battles, it complicates them. It doesn't overpower technology, it whispers to it. And perhaps that is the true meaning of future conflict. Not domination, but influence. Not erasing truth, but bending it. In a world guided by autonomous systems and machine decision-making, the most powerful tool may be the ability to reshape perception without ever touching the physical world. As we imagine the far future, The Phantom Resonance Array stands as a reminder that war may become quieter, more abstract, and more philosophical. A space where the most decisive advantage belongs not to the strongest force, but to the one that understands reality deeply enough to gently rewrite it. This is all conceptual and speculative. Your ideas matter. Share your thoughts below. If you'd like to explore more future war concepts, you're welcome to subscribe. No pressure.